Okay. Well, we're back as far as our podcast. But,
It's been a long time.
Yeah, because we were on D Live for a little bit, and D Live wasn't our thing.
No.
And just because of our schedules, and we can only do it at a certain time of the day, and we weren't hitting the audience, and that there was more popular stuff going on, and so we decided to take a break, a big, long break.
Yeah, since before the shutdown.
Yeah.
So it's been about a year, probably.
Yeah, oh yeah. Now I still have, I think, almost all of the podcasts that we did on D Live, which I may upload at some point.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There was a couple that we had some really good conversations, but the thing that really just kind of irked me was just a lot of interruptions. I thought it would be cool to have viewer interaction, and I don't know. I was wrong. I just didn't like it. I just want to do straight podcast.
Right.
And so what I'm doing is I'm putting these podcasts onto this toy channel that I have, Bosco's Toy Box. Now, I haven't done a video for Bosco's Toy Box in probably like a year and a half or so. And I think I might get back into doing a little bit of toy stuff, not so much. I have an eBay store just like you do. And I'm just finding myself selling stuff instead of keeping it,
Yeah.
And so I may just, if I find stuff, I think I may just show it off and then saying it's going up on eBay. So in case somebody watches and they likes it, they might like advertising in a way.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So, yeah. So like I said, I'm going to try to get into the toy videos again. But if you're actually, everybody watching this, or the people that will be watching this, will not know what our whole agenda is with this podcast.
Right.
And basically what we want to do is we love craft beer.
Yes.
And we love going and either finding craft beer either in the stores or in restaurants or pubs, breweries,
brew
whatever.
pubs, yeah.
Yeah. Or when we travel too.
Yeah.
And which we haven't
done lately because of COVID.
When was the last
end of February last year, like 3 weeks before the shutdown? We went to LA for the hockey games
and Anaheim for Struts
and the Struts concert. Yeah.
But our true vacation was Seattle.
That would have been December of 19.
Yeah. Because when we came back from Seattle, which was just shortly before Christmas, and it was probably like that just after that first week of January, I got severely sick, like really, really sick. And so this is before COVID.
You had the Rona.
That's what my mom thinks, because my mom works in the health field. And after I got sick the first time, then right around the third, was it between the second and the third week, I got sick again. And I think I can't remember now if it was the first sick or the second sick. I got severely sick. I feel like I've never felt like the way I've ever felt before with a flu.
Right.
And so that's what my mom thinks is like, you probably, because I asked her about that, I don't know, 5 or 6 months later, in the middle of the year, probably when COVID was actually really strong here in the U.S. And I think back on that, I'm like, we probably, or I did at least, that I got it from Seattle or traveling, plane, something.
Seattle was one of the early hotspots, and we were there at that time. So.
Yeah, and it was cold, wet, rainy, but it's so. I just really think that I might have had it, because they were saying, when it started here in March, and then a little bit, it was October over in China. It's like, we probably had it here way before what they were saying.
People were getting sick and just didn't know what it was.
Yeah. So anyway, with our travels, with our true travels that we did before COVID, Seattle was great, and then we did our small things in LA and Anaheim, and then after, which Anaheim was just freaking fantastic.
I loved Anaheim. That was a great trip.
And it like if we had known now that it's like the end of the world type of thing, where it's like if you knew that was your last trip, like you could have just went all out. Like I think we probably would, like if we knew that, like, hey, government shutdown or city shutdown or world shutdown, whatever, like we probably would have
stayed another week at least.
We would have vacationed harder, I think.
Yeah.
Because, God, we had such a great time in Anaheim with Struts and, So, and we're itching to go back out, but we don't want to, not just more than just COVID reasons. It's just that it just doesn't seem like it's fun anymore
too many restrictions.
To go out.
Yeah.
Well, restrictions, and there's just so much going on. Either if there's going to be rioting somewhere.
Right, that too.
And so like our two favorite places, like Seattle and San Francisco, or just different parts of California, it's just like, God, now we're hunkered down here just really doing our craft beer.
Yeah.
At different pubs or restaurants that we go to. But we're looking to go back out. And something that I'm in the early stages of, which when I eventually get to this point that I would love to advance even further with this channel, this podcast, is traveling by a converted van. And that way we could be hitting up every single brewery that we can.
Absolutely.
So you're traveling and you're tasting different beers and traveling, camping in a converted van, which is it would just be an amazing thing to do. So that's very early stages, like very, very early stages. So basically that's the plan that we want to do. As far as the main point of the channel is to try different craft beer.
Yes.
So, and
talk about what's going on in the world.
Yeah. And really it's just going to be a mix of things to talk about. I mean, it could be something that happened last week. It could be something that happened maybe a year ago.
Right.
So just try to do something different if we can. There's some stories we might make fun of, and so, I mean, really just winning it.
And
basically.
nothing will be safe.
No, nothing will be safe. Well, we got to try to keep it tame a little bit. We kind of have to watch it. And but we can just go right now. What we can do is we're going to go ahead with our first craft beer.
Yes.
And maybe our first story just to talk about.
Okay.
And you want to go ahead and pour?
We decided, because we are living in Las Vegas, we're going to just do local Las Vegas breweries for our first round of beer tasting. And this one is, I don't know how well the camera can see this.
Because it has to be zoomed in, and I don't want to mess with it.
But this is from a local brewery called Big Dogs, and it's called Red Hydrant Brown Ale. We both tried this before, but we're going to do it again and give our opinion.
Now, we're not big fans of brown ale.
Not really.
I think there's a couple of brown ales that I have quite enjoyed. But for the most part, it's really not our thing.
And when we tried this before, it was a long time ago, and what we've discovered is the 3 years or so that we've been drinking craft beer, our tastes have changed a lot.
Yeah, because when we were doing the D-Live podcast, when we were first starting out, we were really against IPAs.
Oh, I hated IPAs back then. Now I love them.
Because it just, I don't know, we just weren't really feeling it,
Yeah.
And
we were drinking stuff like Blue Moon and Shock Top at that time, and
no, I mean, we were, but I mean, we were actually drinking like on the edge of craft beers,
right?
Where it's not IPA, but it's still craft beers. But I think what really turned. See, now we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go back to the first episodes of our podcast and figure out what those beers are. Because I remember us judging the beers as either too bitter, too tart, too like it has like a quick after, like it hits you right away, or it takes a while and then it has that bitter taste or something like that.
Yeah, the aftertaste and all that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we might judge them differently now.
Yeah, exactly.
But now we're really into like the IPAs, and Indian pale ales, and because there's different categories of.
I'm really a big fan of the hazy IPAs myself.
Yeah, the hazies, and then there's unfiltered and filtered, and
there's New England and West Coast, all these different ones. Yeah.
Oh, and to go back a little bit of what we were trying originally, because since we go to Seattle, blood orange.
Yes.
So we were trying to find. Really, we were trying to stick with stuff that would be in the blood orange range, or something that might be like a different fruit that might mimic it a little bit. Like we were really trying to stray from the IPAs, but so we were just trying to. We were stuck on one thing.
We are,
and it's just like, well, why ruin it? We're enjoying this, and the first batch of IPAs that were off-putting to us.
Yeah, I think we had a couple bad ones to start off, and that
we could have
soured our opinion of it. So yeah.
And
then I remember at 595, I finally had one that tasted really good, and then I was like, I'm going to try some more now, and now I'm totally into them.
Yeah, now I think that's all we really try to find when we go to like Lee's Liquor here in Las Vegas, or like Total Wine and More
and Liquor World.
Yeah, we're like, that's the first thing that we go to is IPAs. So we tried this. So second chance to see if it's improved. Now, first one we gave it because we go on Untapped.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what Untapped is, it's like Facebook for beer.
Yeah.
For beer drinkers. Basically,
it's a free app. You can download it. We love it. We use it all the time.
Oh my God. And it just it racks up all the beer that you drink, and you can
rate it. You can make comments about it.
Make friends with other beer drinkers, and so we gave this both of us gave it a 2.5,
2.5 out of 5, which isn't that good, but we'll see what we do now.
Maybe slightly higher, but
I'm thinking I'm gonna give it over 3 now, like 3.25 maybe.
But the thing too is that we'll sit like after work or during the afternoon, days off or whatever, just drink beer, but it also has to do with food pairing. So like when we go out to our favorite places to eat, like you could actually match this like with a steak or a hamburger, or
this would go great something. With a beef type meal. Yeah.
So like here it could just be okay, but then you pair it with food, and then
I was thinking this would go with tacos, but that was the first spot popped into my mind. Yeah.
Yesterday I made Jack Daniel's pulled pork tacos. So like something like that might have like a dark sauce or something. So that might be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking I gave it a low rating the first time. I'm gonna up it this time.
Well, me, I'm just like a little bit more picky. I'm only going to give it like another 0.25, so it would be 2.75.
Okay.
So checked in. Okay. So, and I think, what are we going to try to do here? Are we going to try to do at least 2 or 3 beers within the podcast?
I'm thinking 3 is a good number, especially with tasters. We won't get drunk on that much if it's just tasters.
Yeah. By the way, I didn't do 2. I gotta switch that up. So we'll try to end like this podcast. We're just doing Las Vegas local beer. So it might be in the same, like we might have 2 brown ales, or but generally that we would kind of like to have a big broad range on each podcast. Like maybe we're doing an IPA, a blonde, not doing a blonde, but but
we got stouts, we got porters, we got all kinds of stuff, pilsners, and
So
I mean, we could always do specialized shows too, where we just focus on stouts or focus on IPAs, or something like that too. It doesn't.
Yeah. All right. So what we're going to do is, while we're enjoying this beer here, we are actually going to talk about just nonsense.
Yes.
Stories, stuff like that. So there's one thing that came across my way, and then I sent it to your way. And because actually you had just finished watching the commercial right before we did the podcast here. There's this South American, right?
South Africa.
South Africa beer called Wenhoek. And it stars Gerard Butler. It's a simple commercial. And it's just Gerard Butler's at the bar, and he overhears a group of guys. One of them in particular wants to order a beer, and he emphasizes that he wants a lime with the beer, like you would with a Corona or...
well, we put orange slices in Blue Moon. So.
Well, yeah. Yeah, and so then Gerard Butler turns around and says, hey, you don't need a lime because try Wenhoek, it's a great beer. And that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing where he's pushing like, hey, be a man and drink this beer. No, it's just like, hey, it's just a beer. You don't need a lime. See how great beer is without a lime?
Yeah.
It's just...
saying this beer tastes good on its own.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, and it's just like upsetting a lot of people to where he's spreading toxic masculinity. And it's just, this is real, like some stuff that they've complained about toxic masculinity. You're like, okay, yeah, whatever. But it's like, you're really nitpicking now. It's just like, okay, you're looking into things that's not there.
Exactly. And
it's
the culture we live in today, and it's kind of sad, I think. But
it is. It's really sad because it's stuff that, like you and I or other people like us or whatever, want to enjoy something, and once you enjoy something, you get shut down. And
when I watched that commercial, it reminded me of another commercial from maybe 10 or 15 years ago. It was Ray Liotta was in it. It was for vodka or some kind of whiskey.
Okay.
And it shows a guy coming up to the bar, and he orders some kind of little fruit drink with an umbrella in it. And Ray Liotta just kind of gives him this look and holds up his glass. And then the guy changes his mind when he sees that and decides he wants to get what Ray Liotta is drinking.
Okay.
And basically Ray Liotta was saying, if you're drinking a drink with an umbrella in it, you're a wimp. Come on, drink a man's drink.
Yeah.
It wouldn't fly today. But back then it was a popular commercial.
And then the other set of commercials that you told me right before we went on, which
the old Miller Lite Man Law,
which I've because you said early 2000, right?
I'm saying 2005 to 2010ish, somewhere in that range. Yeah,
I've never seen one of these commercials, and
there were several. They were funny.
Yeah, and 'cause I watched two of them before we went on, and really what it is, it's like a roundtable discussion of different types of men, but like.
It was athletes and actors.
At that time, famous, because like Burt Reynolds is in it, but he's dead now. But just talking about subjects, and then which would be really in this day and age would really, really like.
Yeah, it wouldn't fly today.
I mean,
not at all.
Out of everything, that would be like you're pushing. I mean, you're really pushing it. As far as mail this, mail that, and they were funny commercials too. A
lot of famous people. I remember Jerome Bettis, the wrestler Triple H, Burt Reynolds, like you said. There was a bunch of people in them, and they were funny commercials. I loved them.
Yeah, and it's just sad. It's just like it's another thing that if they try to reboot it or to make more, it's like nope, you can't do it. It's just like, can you imagine them doing a Hawaiian Punch commercial?
Yeah.
So I mean, the old Hawaiian Punch commercials.
When he actually punches the guy. Yeah.
He's like, hey, you know, do you want to?
How would you like a nice Hawaiian punch?
Yeah, he's like sure. Yeah, he's always sure.
And then he pops him. Yeah.
Yeah, and he just smacks him in the face. And then, God, they could go anywhere with that as far as, because it was always two males talking to each other. Mm-hmm. So they could title that any way that they want.
No, all it would take would be two kids on the schoolyard to do that, and all the parents would freak out. And
well, it's almost like like kids have always I can't even talk right, mimicked stuff like backyard wrestling.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
You know, and stunt bikes and stuff that they just see on TV that kids are going to mimic anything, but. I don't think I ever heard about kids punching each other just because of.
Oh, I don't know if that really happened. I'm just saying. But if it did happen in today's culture, it would be a big deal. You'd see it on the news and everything. Yeah.
Oh heck yeah, yeah. So check out that for one. Check out that one Windhoek beer commercial with Gerard Butler, and then the other ones that we mentioned were the Man Talk, right?
Man Law.
Man Law.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man Law, and then. Where's he?
Ray Liotta had some kind of liquor commercial. Yeah.
See if you can.
I
just
can't remember.
Maybe look up Ray Liotta alcohol. Maybe
I'm
commercial.
Sure it will pop up. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, just another nonsense thing, just to try to attack him in. Good God, we're so bad, aren't we?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
We want to do man things. We're horrible people.
Yeah. Or. Not you don't even have to classify them as man things. You're just doing things, and we just happen to be men.
Right. Yeah. That's all it takes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it takes. That we just happen to be men. It's like, well, what you're doing is considered toxic, and it's just like, well, whatever. I've been doing it for 48 years. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
God forbid. So, all right. So our next story. What is our next story here? So we don't end up having so much dead silence. Okay, let's talk about, because it's so big right now, and I actually joined in on the fun, and stocks.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Big story right now.
Oh, my God. So it would take, we could do 2 or 3 hour podcasts just talking about the stock thing, So just in a nutshell is that people are getting rich off of this GameStop right now, and actually others. And I bought stock in AMC, which is their next target of blowing up big time. And I'm limited right now because I'm on the stupid Robinhood app, and I can only buy, I think 12 is my max for AMC. Mm-hmm. And I bought that at 14 and a half. I think 14.32. I think I bought for each share. And so I got that. And then I did like a little bit of other stuff that they were toying with the idea. Like I got Nokia, and I got American Airlines, and Naked, which is a juice company, I think.
Okay.
And anyway, speaking of juice company, because I could have mentioned this when we were talking about this, because I was informing you. Mm-hmm. Do you remember Trading Places?
Yes.
How they bought the orange juice stock when they were trying to, it's been a long time, inflate it or deflate it, whatever, to screw over the two old guys. And it's like, God, it's like, kind of what's going on now, So Trading Places, if you've never seen that, check that out. But Naked is a juice company. I got like 47 shares on that just because it's so cheap.
Yeah,
because they were toying with it, because that was supposed to be the next big thing. Because I think even Elon Musk tweeted it out, Naked. And so starting Monday, I'm not sure when I'm gonna have this podcast up, probably by Monday, Sunday, okay. Monday. But starting Monday, GameStop is supposed to keep on skyrocketing, and then AMC is supposed to take off, and so it's crazy that all these people are becoming millionaires now. Oh, sorry, excuse me, that's the beer. Jeez.
Yeah, drink up. I'm already done with mine.
Are you? Jesus. How you guzzle that? Well, because I'm doing all the talking, that's why. Good God. I mean, here, you sit and talk for like 20 minutes. But no, the little people like us are finally able to make some money, and then they're fucking us over now. Because like Robinhood is now I can buy again, but I can only buy limited quantities. But before they were sell only, which manipulated the market, and then they were restricting you can't buy anything at all, and then that manipulated the numbers, and so it's gonna be really interesting to see how this plays out for Monday, and actually all week long, because they're talking Wednesday and Thursday really hot spots, so and we'll see.
Yeah, the thing is though, is it already too late? Because this has kind of already happened. GameStop already went through the roof.
No,
but
not
now they know these other ones are coming.
Not now. If you're going to say through the roof, to them, there's no roof. They're saying to the moon. Well, actually, now they're saying to Mars, because now before they were saying to the moon with GameStop, and now because it's at a point where it's really nice and high, and that it could keep on skyrocketing. Now they're saying to Mars, and now they're saying AMC to the moon.
Okay.
So they have all their terms. They have,
but it's already out there. So now, you said these hedge fund managers, they don't want this to happen, so they're going to do what they have to stop it.
They're just like the Wall Street bettors. They're holding that. They're not backing down. It's just like what's that Mel Gibson movie, Patriots? Where he's like, hold the line, like keep on fighting, hold, So it's like, okay, so who's gonna back down here?
Yeah,
or who's gonna sell, or who's gonna, it's a game of chicken, or
Don't know. I don't know much about the stock market, so.
No, I knew that going into. Wanting to talk about this and actually telling you when I found out about it, and because we have our friend that I told about it, and he's crazy about it now, and so I don't have much money invested, which I want to. I actually want to put more in, but I'm being restricted right now with Robinhood.
Yeah,
the bastards. I'm looking to get out. I'm looking to clear out some money and get out, but man, it's okay when the hedge fund managers make billions and billions of dollars and fudge the system, but like when we start doing it, no, can't do that.
Nope.
Can't have fun, can't have money, So like the other thing that they were talking about, this Wall Street bettors, is I don't know if we're going to get it or not, but the additional 1,400, they're talking, let's really screw them over. Everybody take your 1,400 and just dump it into GameStop, and then hey, we'll show you.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that they're talking about too. So, but these people have got already hundreds of thousands or multi-millions already invested into their stocks and not backing down. See, so. Okay, here's a question I'll pose to you. You're in this, okay? Now I don't want to ask like how much that you would invest or whatever, but let's say you're at
$1.50.
Huh?
$1.50.
Yeah, $1.50.
Yeah.
Okay. You eat at the buffets too. No, let's say that. What's your threshold? Like, when do you bow out personally?
What would be where I think I made enough, I don't want to cash out?
Well, see, here's the thing is that everybody's banding together. They're saying stay strong, hold, don't sell, because you sell and then,
then it goes down.
It goes down, and So, but what if you're one of those guys where you're like, this is enough for me, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I would be.
like, I know we could go higher. I know we could be making more, but do you bow out?
I think I would be one of those people because I can pay off my house and my car right now. Yeah, I'm cashing out and doing that. And then I don't have to worry about that ever again.
So what's your number? 250?
I'd probably do 150.
Really?
Yeah, that would be enough to pay off all my debt. And
you don't, because I asked, I have an accountant friend, and he thinks this is all going to go badly. But anyway, so I asked him the same question. I go, okay. I said, when do you go? He's like, oh, when it was at $10. I'm like, get out of here. Like, come on. I said, I'm being serious. I'm like, you can't really beat that chicken. I mean, come on. But so your threshold is, would you say 150?
150,000 I'd cash out, yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. Now I got money invested. Not a lot. I mean, there's no way I could go up to, I don't think there's a way I could go up to 100,000, 200,000.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. What I'm saying is that if I was at that point, I don't know, man. Because I do want to screw over the big guys.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, and I do want to band together with everyone else, but it's just like, God, it's like, if I had 300,000, it's like, I could do my traveling, man.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to work again. Well, I mean, not again, but
you couldn't retire off that.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you could take off a good 10 years if you wanted and travel 5-10 years and travel, you know. I don't know what my threshold would. I don't know what I would do. And I'm in this position to where I have money invested, you know. So, but again, I mean, I'm not going to have a high threshold, but
right.
It's like, damn, it's like, what would I do? I don't know, and the beer's making me burp a lot, so I apologize, but I don't know what I would do.
It's all right. We're men. We're allowed to burp.
Yeah, we are men. Yeah.
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah, you're spewing out toxic, you know. But again, I don't know what threshold I would have.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't even ask. You know, I should have asked my Mike, our friend. Yeah. I should have asked him that question, which I haven't done yet. Because he's in crypto, and he keeps buying Bitcoin, and he's in it to hit hard. So he would probably go. I mean, if he could invest a lot, like if he was one of those people, like the ones that are the GameStops that are at that point where they've invested 300 and they've made already 60,000-70,000, like he would probably go.
Yeah.
I don't think he would bail out.
Even that much, I'd be tempted to cash out. I would.
50,000, you'd be.
I'd be tempted. Yeah.
Because some of them are just like I said. All they had to do is invest 300, and they've got $60,000.
Right.
I mean that.
Oh, that would be tough to turn down.
I know. Well, I mean, and here's the thing: is that I know we don't see. In our times that we've been in, because we're in the Las Vegas, you know, industry. We've never seen people push it to the limit. I mean, some, but none to the point where, well, if they've lost 200,000, like, oh, that's nothing to me, you know. But like the people that start off with like $100 and then they push it to 20,000, you know.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
And they keep playing and lose it back.
Yeah, and they keep playing and lose it back, but it's just like.
And we always ask the same question: how much is enough? You know.
Well, yeah. That's the thing too. Is that like what is your threshold? See, that's the thing. When you go out gambling, what is your threat? Like you're taking 500, let's say, and you're like, hey, I'm going to go out and gamble, and I know I can turn this around, and then. All of a sudden, you've already, let's say 500. So you've already turned it around, let's say like 2,500. and then, fuck, I'm on a streak. I can keep going. It's like, well, you should have got a threshold before you walked inside. You know. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing is that, God, I mean, then you get to the point, okay, you keep going, then you're at 5,000, then you're like, okay, threshold time again. You want to stop? You know? So, but I mean, can you, okay, here's the thing too, is that there's
greed can be a powerful motivator though.
Yeah, but in this case with the Wall Street bettors, it's more than greed to them. It's more of sticking it to the hedge fund managers. But can you imagine that some of these people already have $20 million sitting there, like from Friday. So because stocks don't hit up again until Monday at 9 a.m. on the East Coast. So can you imagine you have $20 million sitting there all weekend, and you're holding out again. You're like, okay, we can rocket this again, and to be in that position, $20 million sitting there all weekend. You want to cash out, but you're like, fuck, I'm holding with my friends. I'm holding with everyone.
French men's. I'm taking $20 million.
Well, no, I know that, but what I'm saying is, because like I've been reading some of the Reddit threads, and some of them that have got a good chunk of money, and they're like, I haven't been able to sleep for a couple of days because like I have to wait until Monday because everyone's like, is it Monday yet? Is it Monday yet? It's like, oh my, I mean, that kind of pressure. Yeah. Just to wait, 2 days or 2.5 days, whatever, to move again with action on your money. Just like, oh my God. I don't know. It's just,
I said, I would be tempted to cash out at 50,000. You're talking about 20 million. Come on, you're getting out. You have to.
Yeah.
I don't care if you want to stick it to the man or not. 20 million, you can live the rest of your life comfortably.
Oh yeah, especially, because I don't know what their start investment is, but like when you just start out with just like whatever they put in, maybe 10,000 or 20,000 or whatever, and you've bankrolled it to 22 million or whatever, and it's just like, but the good thing though is that some of these people have already been paying it forward. They've actually been they've been however they move money around with the stocks or whatever, but keeping a majority in there and just like moving a little bit. They've actually been donating money and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice. And some of these people are like, I can finally pay off my mortgage. I can pay off my college tuition. Like one person on there said his dad is in surgery. He's like, I can pay for my dad's surgery. Yeah. I can do this. I can do that. And it's like, and the elites, whatever you want to call them, are trying to stop all this. Yeah. Yeah. They don't want us to succeed. No, they don't. You can't fight the elite. You can't.
They got their position of power, and they don't want anyone threatening that.
Are we doing a second beer?
Absolutely.
You want to go and get it?
Yep.
So while he's getting the beer, we can actually move on to another subject, since, like I said, we could be talking 2 or 3 hours just about money. We could just be talking about stocks and money and what you would do with it, and So here's a question before we get off, because it'll be a time waster when you're getting this beer together, since you're the beer wench.
Yeah.
You've paid everything off. Now, there's no amount of money. I don't know. Let's say whatever you cashed out with, 50,000, whatever. Cashed out, and you whatever, your bills, your mortgage, your school, whatever. What else do you do?
With anything that's left over?
Like for yourself. Like, what do you do? Now, I've already asked you this question because we play the lottery.
Right.
And we've already said what we would do with the money. Like, what like one thing that you would buy for yourself?
Oh, my first thing would be a bass guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the treat yourself. I know you don't watch Parks and Recreation, but it was always these episodes throughout the seasons of treat yourself, and it's like, what's the one thing that you would do?
Yeah.
Do or buy or
I was a musician for years back in the 90s and gave it up when I moved to Las Vegas. Haven't played in a long time, and I've been itching to get back into the music scene. Unfortunately, my job hours wouldn't allow that. So, but I would still, if I had the money and didn't have to work anymore, I'd get back into the music scene. So I'd buy a bass and an amp.
Well, on top of that, because you also are a writer.
Yeah.
So would you, because you would probably do both, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'd still write. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like you would try to find time for both or whatever. Quit your job for at least a little while or do something different or.
I don't know if depending on how much.
Okay.
But if I had enough where I could just pay off my house, car, and credit card debt, I would keep working and just save so I could retire early.
Yeah. Or you could just put a good chunk of that into GameStop and, I know.
It's risky.
Yeah,
it's risky.
Of course it is. I mean, anything's risky.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus. We're using the same glasses.
Might as well.
Yeah, you don't want to give me all these dishes to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Good God. Anyway,
our next beer is from Craft House Brewery here in Las Vegas, and it's called Silver State. And it doesn't say what it is, but I think it's a lager or a pilsner.
Okay. So I'm bringing my dog up because he's craving attention or something. So this is Bosco of Bosco's Toy Box.
The infamous Bosco.
Yeah. So I've posed this question to you personally, in our off time and stuff. Since we play the lottery, if we were to hit 5 numbers, which is $1 million, after taxes, it'd be $350,000 each. So posing the question, you buy the bass guitar, pay off any kind of bills.
Right.
And then put the rest in
probably a mutual fund or something like that.
Like a Roth, what do they call that? Roth?
IRAs or whatever.
IRAs or something like that.
Something that would generate a lot of interest.
Yeah.
And then that would help me retire early soon.
Yeah.
Do it. So, yeah.
Now, with me, you already know my answer, and which I expressed early in the podcast at the beginning of, I would buy a ProMaster van to convert and I would travel around, man. I want to see what's out there.
I love to travel too, so. And
not just to travel, but really to travel like the unknown parts.
Yeah.
The less traveled. And just to, because this is a perfect segue. Okay, is that yes, I love you. Okay, that both of us on our times off or whatever, we're watching our TV shows, our movies, or just whatever in general, and just like I'm just sick and tired of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like I want to do more with life. I want to get out there. I want to travel. I just want to kind of just experience life, So that's what I would do, and that's what I'm trying to do with trying to get a converted van and get all this going. But it's just things are not enjoyable anymore. It's like when we, let's say we try to enjoy stuff, and then like with the beer commercial, it's like, hey, you enjoy something and toxic masculinity, or it's like once we try to enjoy this and then it's just they shoot us down and it's like, no, you can't enjoy that, you can't have fun, it's too this or too sexist, racist,
right.
And it's like now they make things that we once enjoyed like TV shows, movies, God, music. I play video games all the time, and it's pick and choose with video games. It's not like across the board like it is with TV and movies. At least video games are here and there with if something is woke or if something gets attacked or whatever, and some of these game companies might back down or they might, bend the knee, as they say, or whatever like that. So video games is kind of like the one last small enjoyment that I have, because I cannot do movies anymore. I can't. I just cannot do it.
I used to get so excited for movies. Now I don't even care. It's like I don't want to watch them anymore.
Yeah.
Anything that comes out now, I'm just like, why bother?
Now, I will have my older stuff that I always lean back on and kind of watch repeated viewings and all that. But now those are getting attacked, and getting ruined with reboots and remakes, and it's just like,
don't get me started.
It's just like, now you're ruining this, it's like, leave it alone, and so it just seems like I just want to be done with it, man. I'm just be done, I can take my Nintendo Switch with me out on the road traveling, because Nintendo doesn't bend the knee and they stand their ground. So I could be happy with just a Nintendo Switch and my dog and just traveling and seeing what's out there, you know?
And you were mentioning the reboots. They're rebooting now The Equalizer. I don't remember that show from back in the 80s. 80s, maybe early 90s.
That's in season 2 now, isn't it?
I thought it was just starting up. Queen Latifah is in it now.
Oh, that's right. There's an Equalizer movie with Denzel.
Maybe.
And I heard about
But I remember the original series. I used to watch it.
Yeah.
And now they're doing the gender switch.
Yeah.
And when are they going to learn these gender switches don't work?
Yeah.
It didn't work with Ghostbusters. It didn't work with Ocean's 11 to Ocean's 8 or whatever you want to call it.
Ocean's 8. Because they called it Ocean's 8 instead of Ocean's 10 because they wanted to make a trilogy out of it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And they both failed miserably at the box office. And now they've been doing it with TV shows. And I'm sorry, nothing against Queen Latifah, but she's not going to work as the Equalizer. It just ain't going to work. It's going to fail miserably.
Yeah, it's like they have these roles or movies or whatever that they want to reboot or remake, and then it's somebody that's not even, I don't want to say not fit for the part, but just kind of like, why them?
Yeah.
Like there could be 10 others that I could probably think of that would be like a better, like when you say Equalizer, then you can think of,
that was a macho dude, it's like,
well, yeah, but I mean, if you're going to go the female route, then you could go, okay, her, and it's just like miscast.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say is miscast.
And I know Hollywood's all caught up in this whole women empowerment movement, and I'm perfectly fine with a strong female lead. There's been plenty of shows we've watched that have strong female leads.
You love your strong females, don't you?
Yes, I do. Veronica Mars is a great example. We both love that show. And it was an original idea, and they made a strong female lead. And I was telling you, I think it's Amazon Prime, might be Hulu, has a new Hardy Boys series.
Yeah.
I loved the Hardy Boys when I was a kid. That got me into reading. I'm an avid reader ever since then. And even though the show is aimed for a younger generation, I thought I'd watch it just because I was such a huge Hardy Boys fan as a kid. And they took the most macho character and made it into a girl. And that just really bugs me. There was no reason to do that. There's other female characters in the Hardy Boys. They don't need to do that, And it's just the whole Hollywooded woke agenda, and it's ruining entertainment.
Yeah, yeah, it is, and that's why it's so hard to watch anything anymore. And in streaming stuff is just it's terrible now.
For a while, that's all that was any good. Network TV has been terrible for years.
Well,
but
it seems like after, because we were into Lost, and then shows tried either copying that format or the whole mystery arc type of thing. And
right.
So, like, after Lost, it seems like, because they did Heroes that we were really disappointed in. So it's like after there was like a handful of major shows, and it seems like after those disappeared, because like streaming started popping up, so then it just seemed like broadcast started losing its luster a little bit,
right?
But we both love Cobra Kai.
Yeah, I love Cobra Kai.
Because it's done right. Mm-hmm. It's done correctly. There's no major like SJW nonsense, you know. So, and it has a nice. We can say it has a nice balance, of stuff.
It does,
because because what it does is it wants to appeal to us who grew up with Karate Kid, and then the new generation that it can appeal to them.
Right.
It's kind of like a Disney movie where, the Disney movies are animated. So they're going to appeal to the kids, but then it has that underlining humor for the parents that are dragged to go see this with their kids. So then the parents can go, oh, I get that. Yeah. They're like, it goes over little Timmy's head, but it's like, oh, the parents are like, oh, that's funny, or, something like Shrek did that too, like these little underlining dirty little humor type of things or whatever. So,
and with Cobra Kai, what I like is they divide it up equally between the high school kids and Johnny and Daniel and what's going on with them. So there's a nice balance between that. I'm more into the Johnny and Daniel because we were Karate Kid fans as kids. So now I want to see what they're doing now that they're adults. They're the same age as us,
Yeah. Or actually older.
Technically, yeah.
I mean,
the actors are older. I don't know if the characters are.
Yeah, Ralph Macchio is older than both of. Yeah, older than both of us. Yeah, because he's. What did I say? 59 when we were talking about it.
Something like that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, he was well into his 20s when he made that movie. So yeah.
Okay, so because we can get back to this conversation just quickly with this second beer that we're doing. Is it a blonde or is it a pale ale?
I think this is the pale ale when I looked it up, yeah.
Here, let's see.
It doesn't say so on the can, but...
Terrific. So, yeah.
Doesn't taste like a blonde to me. I'm thinking this is the pale.
Okay. I guess we can go with pale ale then. So, yeah. So, you did say Silver State, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, so Silver State pale ale. You didn't just drink that, did you?
Yeah.
Good God.
Well, not all of it. Some of
okay. I thought, because I'm looking down at my phone, and then I look back up at you, and I just go, and I just thought, like, is that done?
I'm not getting hammered. Come on.
No.
But
well,
I gave us 3 out of 5.
You gave it 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay. And what did you get this at?
Total Wine and More.
Oh, Total Wine and More. Okay.
Yeah.
Because we're doing our little check-in here with Untapped.
Yes.
Okay, so here, let me try really quick here because since I'm doing all the talking here.
Yeah. Come on, chug a lug.
Yeah, I don't think that's a blonde.
No.
Yeah, it's got to be a pale ale.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And wait, what did you give it?
I gave it 3 out of 5.
Yeah, that's about what I would give it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, 3 out of 5.
And we'll do one more before we're done with this podcast. So
yeah, we're only 54 minutes in.
That far? Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we were talking that long.
You mean me talking that long?
Oh, bite me.
No, I'm just kidding. All right. I don't know. Anything else you want to say about, I don't know, remakes, reboots, or
just I'm sick of them all, and I don't even want to watch them.
Yeah, like it's getting very hard to find. I don't want to say good stuff, but I mean it's just stuff that. Okay, here's the thing. When you go, let's say when you go to the movie theater, or if you're gonna sit down and watch a movie, you want to forget about real life. Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. Dog slipped out of my hand.
Dog abuse.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. You want to forget about all the bullshit that's going on in real life. And it seems like it's really hard to find stuff that you can actually sit down and watch something that makes you forget about what's currently going on.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I'll give you one example, and bad example, but it's just something that I just saw this afternoon. They're making is it a third Sex and the City movie?
Okay.
And they want to incorporate COVID into it. And it's just like, good God. You know, it's just like, can there be TV shows where, either TV shows or movies where you can have stuff happen, but like pretend it's not happening, like in its own world, you know? And it's just like, because like now the show that I gave up on, that I was watching it as a time waster, is The Rookie, season 3.
Right.
And season 3, because when it was on its break from season 2 to season 3, BLM happened. And then right before they were filming or whatever for season 3, they're like, we're going to have BLM stuff, and we're going to, it's just like, can you have it where it's just in their world, in their realm, where that's not happening, and just do your thing? You have to have an agenda. Mm-hmm. You have to have a message. It's just like, I want to forget about that stuff. It's like you turn on you could turn on Saturday Night Live, and it's like Trump bash this, Trump bash that. It's like, just write a sketch that's funny. Write something that is comical and funny like you used to do.
That's what I miss. That's why I'm watching old stuff now. I
mean, I don't even know when Saturday Night Live stopped being funny. I mean,
in the 80s.
Maybe after Chris Farley or whoever.
When Eddie Murphy left, basically, yeah.
Yeah. Well, but it's just like, and Saturday Night Live has always been political. I mean, when Chevy Chase was on, he made fun of Nixon?
Ford.
Or Ford. I'm sorry, Ford. Yeah. Made fun of, so they've always had some political thing. And when Dana Carvey was on, he always made fun of Bush, but it was not in the bashing sense. It was always in the satire, funny way. It was
in their defense, Trump made it so easy on them.
Yeah. But they're just, they're doing it to attack and bad. They're not doing it to be funny. And it's just like, you just can't watch anything now where you're just like, okay, I'm reminded of this going on in the world. I'm reminded of that going on in the world. So like another thing, now I didn't tell this to you because I see it all the time on YouTube, is that now we're probably going to get struck with this on the bottom of our video, is that if you mention anything to do with the election or anything in that sense, you're going to get, and it's still to this day, right now, currently, you're going to get a notice at the bottom that says, I forget how it's worded, but it's basically saying that Biden is president of the United States. Well, it's like, well, yeah, no shit.
Well, no shit, yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, we shouldn't be saying those words because we're going to have to keep this adult oriented, but we're drinking beer too. So,
yeah.
But anyway, they have to have these disclaimers now. And it's just like, okay, yeah, we know it's been 2 months already. We know who's president. Mm-hmm. Why do you have to remind us? So they, anywhere you go, anything you watch, you have to be reminded of what's going on. Like I know, it's just like if you had a crappy marriage and everything that you went on to watch TV or movies, it's like, hey, Ted, you have a crappy marriage. You know that, right? And then like this movie, it's like, hey, Ted's got a crappy marriage. His wife is cheating on him. And it's just like, dude, okay, I get it. Like, give me something to forget about my troubles.
Right.
You know, instead of alcohol, probably that can probably do it better. But so, yeah. So
that's why I mentioned to you earlier today, I started rewatching a British comedy called The IT Crowd. You turned me on to it a year or two ago.
I forget how I forget how I don't know how I came upon it, but holy crap! When I watched that first episode, it was just like, it's
fantastic.
Yeah, it's so good.
And anyone watching this, it's on Netflix, called The IT Crowd.
And you can on YouTube. You can. I'm not sure if you can do. You might be able to do full episodes, but at least like clips that you can maybe watch to get you turned on to it.
Hysterically funny. I watched the first 2 episodes, rewatched them last night after work, and I laughed so hard.
Now,
nothing on TV today matches that kind of comedy.
Oh yeah. And but British comedy is not for everybody.
No,
you know,
and it's gotten tamer over the years, but this one's still really funny.
Yeah, because like even Canadian humor is not for everybody either.
Letterkenny, I love Letterkenny.
Kids in the Hall and
SCTV technically was Canadian.
Whitest Kids You Know is Canadian, I think, and
no, SCTV came out of Chicago, but it was a lot of Canadian actors and comedians in it.
Yeah, which you're gonna have that Canadian humor, but. So it's not for everybody, and then of course like British stuff gets remade for American TV, like Office, and that one terrible show that you watched the first Cat. Call me Cat,
something like that.
Yeah, because it's a popular British show, I think.
Okay. And painfully bad to watch. Painfully.
Well, here's the thing: is that I'm watching the advertisements, and I'm not saying that who's the actress?
The one from
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang. Yeah, I can't think of her name.
Not saying she's an unattractive female, but it's just like when you have her and then you got this. Now, as a straight male, I can say a good-looking guy. You know,
right?
Because you can say a guy's.
He's so handsome, isn't he? Yeah.
Like if I was a woman, I'd be all over that. You know, but that's the thing. It's like, okay, would these two really be together?
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, come on. You know, it's like even some movies are movies from 70s, 80s, or 90s. It's like, they really get together? Would they really be into each other? Here's one that just gets me every single time is Saved by the Bell. Have you seen all of them?
Just about, yeah.
So if I say an episode, you'll be like, oh, I know what you're talking about.
Probably.
Okay, so Zach Morris has a date with a good-looking girl. Shock, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I know. What? So there's a some kind of dance or something. And, it's the girls ask the guys.
Okay.
And the overweight, unpopular girl asks Zach. And then at the same time, the good-looking girl that Zach is into gets asked by the good-looking girl. And then, she feels slighted, like, oh, what's wrong with me? So then at the end of the episode, spoiler alert, is that then he dumps the good-looking girl for the overweight girl. It's like, would Zach Morris really do that? Come on.
Inner beauty wins. But Zach Morris was kind of
trash.
A creep.
Do you ever watch the YouTube series called Zach Morris is Trash?
Yeah.
And really,
that character would not do that. No. He would stick with the good looking girl.
Yeah. It's like, okay, like even how old was I when I watched that? Like, I can't remember now how old I was.
Early 90s that came out, so yeah.
Yeah, 15, 16, whatever, however old I was even rolling my eyes at that one. I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm like, okay. Like, I know you're trying to give like a little message out there to the younger viewers watching, and like you shouldn't,
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, come on, you know, ugh, because oh man, I lost my train of thought. What I was gonna say is that when I was saying Zach Morris is trash, you know how they go back and they go, no, look, if you go back and you can actually see that like he's a creep, or he stabbed his stabbed his best friend in the back for a girl or whatever.
Oh yeah, he pulls stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, and so it's just like, I think we've had a conversation about this. One of our prior podcasts is like, you go back to the movies and you go, well, holy shit! Like Back to the Future is like Biff Tannen was really trying to rape.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And then you go to Revenge of the Nerds, it's like, didn't he just rape her?
Lewis really did rape her,
yeah.
yes.
And she enjoyed it? Like, she wouldn't notice, like, okay, this guy's a different size, for one, because he's wearing a mask, and she thinks it's her boyfriend. It's like, okay, well, doesn't feel the same size. And then, like, when he reveals his mask, and she's like, oh, you're that nerd. It's like, you were incredible. It's like, rape? Hello?
Yeah.
You know, so, and then, like, we can talk even about Karate Kid. It's just like, he's the bad one?
Yeah.
Didn't he cheat? Didn't Mr. Miyagi lie to get him into the tournament? You know, so it's so interesting that you can go back and watch this old stuff that we enjoy, and you go, well, holy crap.
Yeah.
It's just like, I never, because it flies over your head as a kid, or even as an adult, you know, like you still love the movie. So like Back to the Future, I love, and I've watched it so many times, but then within the last couple of years, I'm like, yeah, he did try to rape her, you know, but it's so funny is you can watch stuff and then you can look at it in a whole different way.
Right.
You know, because I think we had a Willy Wonka conversation, didn't we, in one of our podcasts where we looked at it a different way. I forget what it was now, but it was just because you can see it from a different perspective, you know. So it is interesting. So you can just go back to your movies that you love and seeing if you can see it in a different way, a different light, from like Jesus, like Karate Kid. You can see it from the bad guy's point of view, you know.
Yeah.
So.
I remember thinking that at the time as a teenager watching that movie and thinking the scene at the Halloween dance where he puts the hose over the bathroom stall and then he gets his ass kicked. I'm thinking, well, he kind of deserved that one, you know?
He's the one that egged it. Like, So here's the thing, though. If he had never done that, would they have touched him again? Would they have harassed him or touched him?
It's hard to say.
Maybe a little bit here and there, but...
They might have, because if you remember the scene right before that, Allie invites Daniel outside, so you know they're going out for a little make-out session or whatever.
It was the whole point of him stealing his girl type of thing.
Yeah, so if they become a couple right then, of course, Johnny's still going to be jealous. So,
but Daniel putting the hose made them chase him and kick his ass. Then they got their ass kicked by Mr. Miyagi.
Right.
So really, it just escalated more of a fight. So it's like, okay, so yeah, maybe Daniel's the bad guy here.
Yeah,
you know,
he wasn't completely innocent in all this. That's for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about movies for the past couple of years that we could look at again in a different way and go, wow, it's like, do I love that movie anymore, or do I love it as much as I did when I was a kid? And
even watching Cobra Kai now, I'm finding myself more sympathetic to Johnny than Daniel, because
as a narrative sense, they want to make you feel that way.
Johnny's falling on hard times while Daniel's living the high life, you know?
Yeah.
So
good-looking wife. He's got
the car dealership.
And he's got a daughter. And, you know, it's like, hey, life is good. Life
Johnny's
is great.
struggling to make ends meet as a maintenance man, you know? So
yeah,
it's
he's drinking. Well, I'm not saying drinking beer is bad, but
just drinking bad beers, you mean?
Well, yeah.
Coors.
Yeah.
Come on. Coors Banquet. Ugh.
Jesus. but he is,
we're beer snobs.
but he is stuck in the whole, because like he doesn't really know what internet is or you know? So he's like still stuck. He's like still stuck in the 80s, you know. So he's gonna love that type of beer, or he's gonna be stuck on that same kind of car that he drove.
He still likes 80s rock.
Yeah. So
well, so do I, but yeah.
No, but yeah. So I don't know what is a we can talk about God, we're going to go all over the board here, because where are you at with your?
I finished
done?
mine.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, lightweight.
It's because I'm talking. That's why. PCH.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So it seems like every year, well, before COVID, really, is that we've been wanting to try different places to go, and we always bat around the idea back and forth of when are we going to do a PCH trip?
Yeah.
You know, so we can do San Fran to
down to LA probably. Yeah.
LA or San Diego, or
it goes
somewhere.
a lot farther south than LA, but not sure how far we
but
would
really
take
the
it.
main stretch, we just were like, PCH would be so great, you know, just drive, you know.
A lot of cool stuff to see along the way.
Yeah, really not as a reason to go stop A, stop B, stop, you know, just the drive.
Yeah.
You know.
And you as a photographer, you'd have plenty of photo ops. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to. Now, because the other thing that I want to do when I get, eventually, if I ever do a van, I want to get a drone and do overhead footage, but you're really restricted of where you can fly a drone at. But if I can fly a drone anywhere around the PCH area, that'd be great. But like, when was it? 2 or 3 years ago when they had the major road damage. Remember that? And then it took them forever to fill that in and to fix it. And then sure enough, here was it this past weekend, because we got snow here in Las Vegas, and California got a bunch of rain and snow, and that started a landslide, and then section of PCH just
fell right into the ocean.
Yeah, it's gone.
And we saw the pictures. It's pretty big gap there.
Yeah, it's like more than a General Lee can jump, probably.
Yeah.
You know,
I was joking with him earlier, saying we could still drive the PCH. We just have to play some Dukes of Hazzards. But
yeah. So again, you know, whenever we were gonna get around to traveling again after all this COVID nonsense, is that eventually PCH. But now, I don't know how it could take him like another year, maybe 2 to.
That's going to take some time to repair.
Completely fix. Yeah. Where
they might even have to build a bridge there, that big gap, you know.
And how they're talking, like, because it would have to be inspected and then you know surveyed, and so it could take a while. So it's like, okay, that's scrapped now.
Yeah,
I mean,
we can't do it anytime soon.
No. So
I mean, we'd have to take a huge detour if we did, and yeah. But COVID's ruined everything. It ruined our baseball trips last year. And
that's right.
That's one of the things I have planned for my. It's like a bucket list thing for me. I want to see all 30 Major League Baseball stadiums. Watch a game at every stadium. I've been to 10, 20 to go, and last summer I was going to do 4 more. But
yeah,
COVID happened, and
we were set to go for Colorado, Texas twice,
Texas and Houston,
and
I was going to do Boston with my friend
that's
Todd.
right. Yeah,
but all of that got scrapped because of COVID.
We were going to do awesome breweries in Colorado, and then we had box seats at which game?
That was going to be the Astros. Yeah,
so we had box seats at the Astros, and
one of those luxury boxes. Yeah, that was going to be sweet.
Oh my god! And then what else? We had other alternative plans too that got
we were going to go
to
where JFK was killed. That museum they have there.
We were going to do DC stuff too, right?
Oh, well, eventually, we had other. Like every city that has a stadium we were going to go to. So
so everything got scrapped. Like now we're at a point where, I mean, we've already established we're just staying home in 2021.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Unless we happen to hit 5 numbers on the lottery, and then
we'll see what happens. Yeah.
then I can get the converted van, and then we can actually travel.
Yeah.
That would be the only thing that would make us travel a lot earlier, is if I had the converted van and we could just travel and do breweries and everything.
Yeah.
And do our podcast on the road.
And as far as baseball games go, even if they are allowing fans, it's probably going to be a limited number. And they're already talking about delaying spring training right now. So,
but is it any? Would you? Okay, what is it? 1/3 capacity?
Something like maybe even less.
Is it even fun to go to a game if it's 1/3 capacity?
Yeah, it's.
I mean, of the baseball games that we've been to together, it's always been.
There's always a good crowd, yeah.
A good crowd, yeah. Like we were in San Fran, right? And I was making fun of that one baseball player. Remember? I kept ragging on him. He was Asian or
that was in Anaheim.
Anaheim, okay.
Yeah.
And I was ragging on
Ohtani, I think.
Ohtani, yeah. And I can't remember what I was saying.
Yeah.
And because there was Ohtani, like diehard Ohtani fans in front of us.
There were a lot of them all around us, yeah.
Like they went, I overheard them that they went for the baseball game, not to watch baseball, but for Ohtani.
Right.
And it's just like, okay. Whatever.
And the first time he was up, he struck out. And just a collective, all around us.
Yeah.
We were laughing so hard.
Yeah, that was good times. So that's the thing too, is that you can, like me being a sarcastic smartass, that you can really kind of egg people on.
Yeah.
Like it's no fun. Like if you have empty bleachers all around you,
yeah,
you're just like, well, this is no fun.
You lose some of the atmosphere. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's completely different. Like if you go to a movie theater and you're the only one there, it's like, well, this is great.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, I have too. Where you sat in dead center, and then you just sprawl all out, and you're like, well, this is great, But it's different with
baseball. You want
sport.
the atmosphere. Yeah.
It's like hockey too, because people get into hockey more than they do baseball, as far as just
how excited they
energy.
get.
Yeah. And so it's like, do you really want to be in a stadium or in the bleachers where you're the only you're the only one within 20, 30 feet, and you're just like,
That's part of the fun, the Golden Knights games I've gone to, and they score a goal, everyone's up and cheering and high-fiving each other, and it makes it a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And because that was my first baseball game of the stuff that we went to. And because I don't think I've been to baseball when I was a kid or anything like that. I've been to a Vikings game when I was younger. But going to a baseball game, I love that, man.
Yeah.
And because when we went to off the cuff, we just went to the San Fran game.
Yeah, but that was like a last minute decision.
Yeah. And then the stuff that we had planned, like in Anaheim and stuff like that, just such a good time. And then we were like, oh my God, we can't wait till the next season, before COVID was up and about. And we were like, man, baseball is going to be so great next year. And we were talking about it nonstop for days on end. And then we're just like, all hyped up for nothing, and it's just like, this just sucks.
We'll get to them again, but it's going to, this year, probably not.
Well, because
hopefully next year.
Well, the other great thing would be is not only like if I had a converted van where you're traveling around to going to breweries and then camping in unknown spots, at the same time you could be hitting up baseball games,
right?
During the certain parts of the year, of course,
right?
But my God, I mean, you could even go to spring training if you wanted to, and go out there earlier if you're wanting to camp out during spring training's April, right?
March.
Yeah. So like around March, like if you want to go to hit up, because they call van lifers call it chasing 70, where they're trying to go all to these regions where it's just the perfect weather, the 70 degree weather. So like right when it gets like warmer or colder, they're like, we can go over this to the other state or another section, and it's 70. So they call it chasing 70.
Well, about half the teams do spring training in Florida, and the other half do it in Arizona. So perfect
Arizona,
weather that time of year.
Man, Arizona would be good because it would get cooler at night.
Yeah.
In the desert, and that'd be great, man. And because the other thing that I've always wanted to do is, we get so screwed. I mean, anybody in major cities gets screwed anyway. Is that you get no galaxy up because of all the street lights,
right?
So like if you're out in the middle of nowhere in like Arizona in the desert, I mean, you could probably imagine all the stars, all those when they say Mars is going to be the closest it's ever been in like 500 years, or so you'll be able to see stuff that you won't be able to see like in the city. So that's
I've experienced
thing.
that camping before. You're out in the middle of nowhere and you just look in the sky.
I have too. I was a Boy
gorgeous.
Scout. I was a Boy Scout, and we went to places, and I think I remember stuff like that. But I would love to do that again, man. Just to be out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
you know.
You don't realize how beautiful the night sky can be until you're out in 50 miles from civilization.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That's like that. The opposite of what we're saying, like with the baseball. Like we want people around, but like you're camping.
Yeah.
Like no, it's just like there's nobody around for miles. It's like this is great, man. So yeah, you want to get that third beer going?
I'll get it now.
Okay. So yeah, just I don't know. It's just when life can get back to normal. Do you think we need bigger glasses for that next one?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Because even doing the simplest, because I mentioned this to you already, just doing the simplest things now, it's just like going to the store is just such a hassle now because now they're saying that they want you to wear 3 masks.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, it's like, why don't you just put a pillow over your face and just be done with it? Because not only will you not feel anything and, you'll be dead, but hey, you won't get COVID,
Right.
Yeah, just put the pillow over your face and yeah, everything goes away, But seriously, because not too long, God, it was only a couple months ago that, they were talking, well, you need to wear 2 masks now.
Right.
And so now when they just came out and said 90% efficiency with 3 masks, but what they say is, how do they say it? One, the layering has to be different. So one will be a thin coating of a mask, and then one is the thicker coat, and then,
right.
It's like, this is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And, here's the thing, too, is that, and I've seen so many people comment about this, and I've seen it. When I go out walking and I do my errands and I do things on a daily basis, is that you see a person by themselves driving, not only with a mask, but they'll have the
face shield,
the welder's shield. And like, are you fucking kidding? Or, Jesus,
dude, come on.
Sorry. So, yeah, we're gonna adult restricted on this one,
definitely.
For sure. It's like, are you kidding me? It's just like you're by yourself, and 2, this is not an airborne, like a true airborne thing, where like it's like a toxic gas that's going around. It's just. You're by yourself. Why? For one, why are you even wearing a mask when you're driving around with the windows up? Why? I walk my dog and I'll see people going to check the mail with a mask on, like walking their dog. They're having a mask on. It's just like, why? It's now I can understand maybe if you're asymptomatic or if you're older or whatever, but you look at some of these people and you're just like, you don't need it. Yeah. You don't need it. Come on, you're walking around by yourself. It's not like how many people are you going to get in contact with going to your mailbox, are you going to be embracing people, hugging people, kissing people?
You never
It's
know.
just like,
I might.
you're just, yeah, you're going to like go and hug your mailman or something, you know?
I'm an affectionate guy.
Yeah.
Hey.
But seriously, it's like, why? Well,
Yeah.
why do you need the nonsense? You know, 2 masks. What? I mean, if 3 masks is 90% efficient, go for 4. 100%. You know, go for 4. I mean, stop screwing around.
Right.
You know, but I don't know. I think it's all nonsense, and I don't think it's. Oh, okay. So here's the other thing is that now that Biden is our president, well, I mean, I don't think he's our president, but even, you know, now that he's our president, and I'm saying that while I'm rolling my eyes, you can tell. No? Okay. So anyway, so now all the Democrat states want to, hey, we can end the lockdown. What do you know? We can end the lockdown.
I predicted that last summer.
Well,
so
yeah, of course. But now, just was it the other day that LA released a lockdown, and they said you can have outdoor dining, but you're not allowed to have a TV set on.
Right. With Super Bowl coming up 1 week away.
Yeah, with Super Bowl coming up, and really with, I don't know, what else is going on sport-wise?
That's really it.
I mean, something to have a TV on for.
Hockey and basketball are in the regular season,
Okay.
but, you know.
But you're not allowed to have a TV on, and like their excuse is it's effective, and for the time being, this is what we're going to do. It's like, well, that's not an excuse, you know. So, and I guess Baltimore's been doing it for the past. I read somebody said that Baltimore's been doing it for the past 300 days, and they're just like, you know, this ain't effective. It's not working, you know. So it's like, yeah. So here's the thing, though, is that okay? I mean, you can even have a lawyer argue this one. What if somebody was to walk in, you know, outdoor dining, and you know, you could take your mobile device, your iPad, stream your, you know, the sporting event or whatever. Can they stop you from doing that? Because it's not a TV.
Technically not.
It's not.
I don't know.
You know,
but
it's like you can't even enjoy outdoor dining now.
Right.
You know, and what if those places that are like bars or whatever, you know, what if they have outdoor dining and they have their TV sets all ready to go, you know, because they have outdoor seating, but yep. Sorry, you can't have TV
can't
on.
do it now.
Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, they just want to spoil all the fun. So while we're rounding out the podcast here, you want to talk about the beer?
Third and final beer. This is Atomic Duck from Abel Baker Brewing here in Las Vegas.
Now, you want to talk, while I check into this, you want to talk about the 2 different ones that they have out, actually?
Oh, they have several different Atomic Ducks, actually. But
well, the most recent one.
They did Quarantine Duck not long ago. That was a hazy, and it was released during the shutdown. That's why they call it that. And they have, I want to say there's 1 or 2 other variations of Atomic Duck. I'm not 100% sure.
Now, this is just
the normal, original Atomic Duck, yeah.
And again, where did you get it at?
I bought this at Total Wine.
Okay.
And we've actually visited this brewery. It's downtown, just a short ride from the Stratosphere, on Main Street.
That was before COVID, too, right?
When they first reopened, we went there, actually.
Oh, that's right. Ooh, yeah, that's right.
So there were restrictions, but we still really liked it. We haven't been back, but that's only because there were some things happening downtown that we weren't happy with, and we just stayed away. But we will go back. And we also have 595, which is the same owners, which is close to our home, so we go there a lot.
Yeah, 595 is like it's our go-to.
That's our go-to.
Yeah.
It's our favorite craft beer bar. Yeah.
Now, most of the times we go on Sundays because they have what's it called? Service industry.
Yeah. If you work in a casino industry, you get 20% off?
Yeah, 20% off, which is like 2 beers. I think we worked it out too.
Yeah.
2 beers free, which is like
we love that.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah,
and they have fantastic food there as well.
Yeah, like you do their.
I do the banh mi's. They're
banh mi's.
fantastic. Yeah.
But sometimes we'll dart back and forth to their hamburger.
Really good
stuff
burgers.
Like that.
Yeah.
And
I've had the wings there. They're good.
And they've recently been doing rotating desserts of different cheesecakes, and that's been really good.
We can't say enough good things about 595.
Yeah.
If anyone watching lives in Vegas, it's at Rainbow and Trop, right behind the Chevron station.
Which is very unassuming because it doesn't look like like a bar, restaurant.
Not really.
Yeah.
It's in a tiny little plaza, but
Yeah.
trust me, if you go there, you will not be disappointed. Great selection of craft beer, and the food. As far as bar food goes, you can't beat it in this town.
Yeah. Really good, man.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to sit here and finish this third beer because we've already talked about. Is there anything else that you want to? Anything? I mean, just
Not really. We've pretty much wrapped up everything we talked about.
we're hour and a half right now.
Yeah, okay. We
Yeah.
might want to wrap this up then. We'll do this again real soon, though. So
Yeah, we're gonna try to do this on a weekly basis, maybe.
bi-weekly, maybe. Who knows? Whenever we get the urge.
Yeah. Or, yeah. I mean, or there could be stuff that we really want to talk about, or beers that we really want to show off, or stuff like that.
Right. We got a whole fridge full of local
Oh
breweries
my
here.
god!
So
Yeah, my fridge is full. It's tempting. It's so. See, here's a problem. Here's a problem. You come over here and you leave all this beer in my fridge. I have all the time in the world to be drinking this beer, and I can't do it. And it's so tempting, especially when I want to say the S word. When I have crappy beer still left over from, I don't know, whenever I got the no carb beer, and then I got the that Guns N' Roses beer.
That's not even beer. That's like a wine type thing.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
and then it's still classified as a beer. And then I had this what's that one by Abel that we hated? Was it Abel? And it's still in my fridge.
No, that was Mother Earth.
Oh, Mother Earth. That's right.
That Buku IPA or something
my
was called.
God, that was terrible.
That was terrible, yeah.
Oh, now it could have been a bad batch because remember that triple monkey that we had after the game?
Yeah, after the Knights game over at Slice of Vegas.
Yeah, and at Slice of Vegas, and we had it draft. The triple monkey is like a banana beer, and it was awesome. And then I had it canned, and I'm like, it tastes sulfuric. Like there was like a metal taste to it.
I got that same thing when I tried it. Yeah,
God,
didn't like it at all.
Yeah, it was terrible.
But
So it must have been like maybe it's just been standing around in the can, you know, because you can get that from food or drinks that are like from the can.
Yeah.
And if it sits there long enough, it's going to get a metallic taste to it or something.
Yeah, it might have just been an old batch. Yeah.
Oh my God, terrible. But anyway, you know, we're going to try to do as much podcasting, and then like I mentioned, if you've been watching this from the beginning, we try to do some toy stuff. I'm not really into it. Okay. Toys have been terrible. Hey, like movies and TV, it's like toys have been really just god awful, man. And so like the stuff that I do now is like Playmobil, and I'll do I don't know anymore. I buy Hot Wheels, and that's about it. And really anything else that I find out in the wild, I'll just stick up on my eBay store. So I might show stuff off and then just say, hey, it's up on eBay, or just to show off cool stuff. But I'm not passionate about toys anymore. I want to travel. Really, if I had that converted van, podcast out on the road, because we could do it so easy out on the road. Beer everywhere, it would be great. So,
all right.
But
so
so
for those of you who stuck with us this whole 90 minutes, we thank you. Remember, we got Atomic Duck IPA, Red Dog, Red Hydrant,
and Silver State,
from Craft House. Yeah. Give them a shot.
And maybe we'll mention beers that we had when we go to 595 or something,
right?
You know. So, just to mention really quickly, what's that Christmas beer then in the bottle?
Bifrost. Bifrost Winter Ale. Yeah.
Even though that it's not Christmas anymore, or really.
Well, it's a winter ale technically, and it is wintertime.
Yeah, but it is still technically winter, but not like snow on the ground. Like for us, it's still like fall or whatever, summer.
But that's a really good seasonal beer, though.
Yeah, Bifrost was great. So hopefully you'll catch us next time and you enjoy this and you want to watch more. And like I said, man, just hopefully we can get at that point where it's converted van traveling and visiting breweries. That's what we want to do. So hope you enjoy this, and we'll just see you next time.
See you next time.